And we're back for another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Lakers weekend, everyone. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcast. Also, as well, of course, want to go ahead and give a big shout out to the Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com. Of course, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, and all of our other great contributors to the show, including at Alfred Esmond on Twitter, report_court, because you know that's Stone Hansen. Go ahead and hear what he has to say about Summer League at report_court right there on Twitter. And then, of course, Legend, who will be coming hopefully shortly. He'll be coming on here on the show. He'll be going ahead and stopping on by to talk about NBA free agency. Go ahead and catch his I Got Next Sports Media channel on YouTube as well. Of course, our good friends, John Costa, Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner, Joe Soro on the Joe Soro channel, and then, of course, also Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. I did mention him. And, of course, Empire Jeff covering the Lakers and Dodgers. All these great people, all these great things. Be a part of them. Go ahead, help them out. Support, like, and subscribe, but make sure you support us by liking and subscribing to whatever we do right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Well, Gerald Glassford here. Thanks so much again for joining us on this Lakers weekend. We thought we'd touch base with you guys to see how you're doing over the July 4th weekend, but also let you know what the Lakers are doing over the course of the July 4th weekend. And also our thoughts in detail on the NBA winners and losers so far in NBA free agency. It isn't quite done yet. Still got some restricted free agents out there, a couple loose unrestricted free agents out there in the NBA. I know the Jonathan Kuminga saga has not been fully taken care of yet, but as these things come around, we'll go ahead and talk about here on the show. But really the only deal that went down today was a 3-year deal to return to the Bucks for Ryan Rollins. They did finalize a NBA record 7-team deal for, I guess, headed up by, of course, Kevin Durant going to Houston. It did involve the Lakers, but it was just the fact that they could move up the 10 spots. This was the second of 2 deals, because remember the Lakers moved up 10 spots initially, and then they moved up 9 more, to get the number 36 pick. Adu Thero, who just signed his rookie contract today. I want to go ahead and congratulate him on that. He will, again, just to remind you guys, he will not be available for Summer League as he is recuperating and rehabilitating his knee for some lingering knee issues, which, again, as you know, something a little bit of a concern there. But the team has said that he will be fine going into training camp later this year. So we're looking forward to seeing what he can do, especially on the defensive end, which is his specialty. And hopefully he can get that jump shot working as well. But this, of course, Gerald Glassford. I want to hear what you have to say. JSJ, who was part of our playback coverage, playback.tv's House Lakers Fast Break. I did have the Lakers Summer League games there, so shout out to everybody who stopped on by. Never watched Joe. JSJ. I'm kidding. If he's streaming, talking about the Dodgers, that's what you want. You want to talk about Lakers? I'm here for you as well. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Wanted to go ahead and make sure you get your thoughts in. But the Lakers this weekend had the California Classic. The California Classic did take place this weekend as far as 2 of the games involved. I believe the Lakers have 1 more up there in Northern California at the Chase Center. This weekend, they faced off on Saturday to start their Summer League action, so to speak. They started it on Saturday with a disappointing 89-84 loss to the Golden State Warriors. Start out the game pretty good on a 19-9 run. Had the lead in the first half, but it kind of fell apart in the second half. They were actually down by double digits and had to come back to even get it that close. I will give a shout out here in a second of who's done well and who's not done well so far this preseason. But today's game, a little bit more positive for you guys out there because the Lakers took care of the Miami Heat. They handled them pretty well, 103-83. They pulled away early, got a nice lead at the half, and then just put it into gear and never looked back. I do want to say right from the start that if you got a chance to look, the limited minutes that Bronny James was on, he was on for about 10 minutes. He's on a minute restriction, everyone. So I believe he's only on 10 minutes. I don't think he appeared in the second half. If he did, I don't remember it. But he appeared in the first half. Actually started off the game scoring 5 of the first Lakers points out there. Got a steal right away. Got a nice slam. Actually was 2 of 5 from 3. Looked more comfortable out there. So you Bronny James fans got to be encouraged by the limited number of minutes that he played out there. But today he looked like a second-year player needed to look like. A second-year player going in there needs to look more comfortable, more assertive, hitting more shots. And that's what Bronny James did today. So I am going to give him credit where credit is due. He did look like a very comfortable second-year player playing in Summer League. Whereas all the rookies are just there. They're like trying to make their way outside of VJ Edgecombe, who looked awesome on Saturday night. Most of the rookies are there just trying to feel everything out. But yeah, Bronny James, second year, started to look really comfortable. He is, again, on a minutes restriction, so don't expect too much more in the final game of the California Classic as far as minutes are concerned. I think things by the time later this week here in Vegas, for the Vegas Summer League, we should see him get a little bit more run and to see exactly what's going on there because the talent that's there at Vegas Summer League, all eyes at the NBA will be there. And I think Bronny James, especially going up against Cooper Flagg in that first game against the Dallas Mavericks, will be interesting to see. So JSJ says, JSJ, you got to get off. You got to get off the LeBron. No more LeBron. I am banning you from LeBron Wire and of course, NBA Central and Bleacher Report, man. You've got to stop this. You've got to stop it. But anyways, he's saying that I heard we're going after Bill. They might be. When Beal becomes if he gets bought out, although if I was him, what motivation does he have to be bought? Unless he wants more playing time because he won't have any playing time playing behind 2 shooting guards in Phoenix. But if he wants to be stubborn and just collect his 50 some odd million and not be traded anywhere, why would you want it? Why would you want to go? But there are rumors that he will be bought out. If that's the case, he'll be looking for another place. Of course, the Lakers have to be in every rumor. I don't know if that's exactly the kind of player that you want, seeing how he left that organization in Phoenix. But I'm sure his name will be bandied around with several organizations besides just the Lakers as well. Festo says Bronny is a bum. Festo, we've been saying for a long time on the show here, Joe and myself and Stone. Stone actually a little bit higher than us on Bronny, but Sean as well. Not exactly the highest of compliments we have played Bronny. In fact, Joe Soro, he's been very downright descriptive of Bronny's play, or Bronny even coming to the Lakers. We know why he's on the Lakers. I will say today he did look comfortable, more comfortable. He did look like a bum, if that's what you're saying. So 2 of 5 from 3. Really play the kind of defense you want from as far as playing full court defense, on the ball defense, in your face defense. Again, it's only 10 minutes, so I don't want to take too much into it, but he did look like a comfortable second-year player today. So, I mean, I'm going to say that's about the nicest things I can say is he looked more like a player that's more comfortable being in the league. So, and I hope that continues. I hope that continues for the Lakers. But again, it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. DBSH, yo! Ryan, he is probably on his own channel, on the Joe Sorrell channel right now. That's what people tell me. I did not see if he was going on or when he was going on his channel. But Ryan, I'm here. I'm also give great takes as well. You're just looking for anger, then you want to go ahead to the Joe Sorrell channel, I believe, right now on YouTube. But me right now, I give Lakers and NBA takes second to none right here on this channel as well. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Hopefully, Legend will come on and join us. Maybe Sean Grice as well, as far as that's concerned. But let me hear you guys' thoughts. The weekend with the Lakers and the California Classic. M24, any word on Dixon? You know, Eric Dixon, okay, the Lakers did announce that Adu Thiero and also Marciulionis, son of the Sarunas Marciulionis, they were not playing. I think both of them are not playing in Summer League. I know one has a Jones fracture and the other one, I think that's Marciulionis, that he's recovering from. And then the other one, we talked about Adu Thiero and his knee. I think when it comes down to it, Eric Dixon, it was not given any reason why he did not play in both the Summer League games. So I'm just wondering what happened there, because he was not listed as someone that was out. He's just listed as someone that's available, but for what reason. So hopefully he'll get some burn sometime this Summer League, because I'd love to see how it works with the guy who did lead the league in scoring. And here also as well, he is coming in right now. It's good man indeed. It is, of course, the man from I Got Next Sports Media on YouTube. It is, of course, Legend. What's up, my friend? How you doing? How you doing this weekend, man? Did you have a good July 4th?
Pretty good. Would have been better if I had to go to a funeral today, but been pretty good.
That's right. You said my condolences to you and the family of that individual who passed away. Blessings continued for the family that's left behind, and I'm hoping everything works out long term for you guys out there. And I'm sorry for your loss. But we're getting into California Classic with one of your favorite teams, Golden State, hosting the California Classic this weekend. Ryan, I talked to you about some of the good. Actually, I didn't even talk about the best player for the Lakers. A couple of the best players for the Lakers so far. Don't worry, I got Dalton coming up on the mind here. DJ Stewart, both games, 34 points in both games, about 9 assists in both games. He's getting plenty of run, plenty of burn. So big shout out to him. 6'2" guard, 6'7" wingspan. A little bit, how should I say? His decision making is still something that needs a little bit of maturing. He had a 2-on-1 where he's going along the wing and had someone straight down the middle waiting for just give me the ball and I'm going to go ahead and I get a dunk. And he decided to take him up himself and he got it blocked. Plus, he had a backcourt violation, which was a little bit head scratching. But outside of that, I thought he's been very good for both games. Darius Baisley, if you guys know him, as far as from OKC, Utah, and other stops, he's had 2 pretty good games. Today, he had 16 and 9, along with 3 blocks. Where he fits in the league is going to be tough because he is not strong enough or big enough at 6'9", but I think a very skinny, 230. And I think I'm being very generous on that as far as where he fits in the league, but he's not athletic enough. His verticality is pretty good, but he is not. He's not that. I'm going to say. Go ahead. Go. There you go. All right. Kind of lost you there, my friend. But I wanted to go ahead and say that Darius Baisley has played in the league. Looks like he's played in the league, but whether or not he gets another contract, we'll wait and see. But the guy we want to touch on, you guys have already talked about it. It is, of course, Dalton Knecht, who we've been talking about a lot on this show in recent weeks, since he got drafted last year, about what he can do. He has struggled mightily. We talked about Bronny James in the 10 minutes, looking more comfortable. Second-year players, Legend, second-year players. Once you've been around the horn doing this as far as Summer League for once already, you come back, you already know what to expect. You already know what you need to be working on, and you already know that you got to go ahead and make sure you get some certain things done, work done, and just refine your game a little bit more. It looks like, you know what, and I'm going to say this, Bronny James looks like, again, an individual that has come with a knowledge of what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish, and he looks a lot more prepared and ready in the limited number of minutes that they're giving him. Dalton Knecht in both games struggled mightily, looked a little bit lost out there at times. His shot from the outside, which, as you guys know, is normally his bread and butter, was not hitting at all. And decision making was kind of poor. He had yesterday, he had a last second, or actually in the last minute, he had a chance to get the Lakers within two with a simple layup, and he blew it. And unfortunately, again, his decision making on defense as well looks like nothing has improved there so far. I'm really disappointed for the kid, and because I know he's worked hard. I know he's a nice kid. Seemingly looks like, you know, a guy who hopefully you want to have put things all put together. But it's funny, Legend. Right next to him playing both days is a guy named Cole Swider. Cole Swider, about the same size as Dalton Knecht, plays a little bigger, plays more like a four, but he's not big enough to really be a four. He doesn't rebound or play defense at the level you need to. He has bounced around the league. He has tried everything he can to stay in this league, and he's not been able to stay. Two-way, he's gotten a cup of coffee here, gotten a cup of coffee there. He has dominated the summer league for the Lakers in both the games. And it's interesting because the guy alongside of him, Cole Swider's been doing a lot of this for quite a number of years now, but he's not that much older than Knecht. Do you see a situation where if Knecht doesn't learn from guys like Cole Swider on how to prepare yourself for the summer league, he can find himself eventually on the outside looking in? Because so far this weekend, Dalton Knecht has been, a lot of the Lakers fans have turned on Dalton Knecht this weekend. It's been very sad to see. I've looked at all over social media, looked at our playback here, looked at our chat here. It looks like Dalton Knecht is no longer the apple of the Lakers fans' eyes.
It is sad to see how things have turned out, and I agree with what Jay said in the chat. I feel like that's where a lot of the problem began. Ever since that trade, he just haven't been the same. It's something about that trade. It psychologically messed him up, and I'm about at the point I think he need to be traded. He need a fresh start, and I think maybe that will rejuvenize him a little bit, because with the way it's looking, he is going to end up being looking in the outside the way it's going, because you were already in the doghouse with JJ the first time. Now you're struggling on what you are known for, and that's not going to sit well with JJ and the rest of that staff. If he don't somehow get things turning around, I wouldn't be surprised if they wait him or something. But I really think the best thing to do, especially for him personally, he need to be traded. He need a fresh start.
And you're right, Enrique, who's in the chat. It is just Summer League. So you can't, as I always say in Summer League, Legend, you can't take too much from Summer League or too little from Summer League, because it is Summer League. I don't know his approach this time around. Again, I can tell you my experience seeing him when the cameras were off in Vegas on how he worked last year. I don't know how he approached it this year. I know I was asked that in the playback as far as his work ethic. I know how he approached it last year. I'm hoping he takes it seriously, but you're right. It could be something in his head at this point where it just seems like maybe he does need a fresh start. I know that a lot of Lakers fans in the chat and also social media wanted to help him away. And it's just strange because this time last year, Legend, when he started to showcase his skills, he's going to be a star. He's going to be great. He's going to be a star. Oh, how the tables turn so fast on these kids. And the thing is, I'm really rooting for the kid. I don't wish ill will on Dalton Knecht at all. But maybe a change of scenery might be, I'm agreeing with you, Legend, and in the chat, maybe a change of scenery might be best for his psyche at some point. I mean, Cam Whitmore just got traded with 2 draft picks to Washington for Mojave King, a second rounder. That could be amazing for Cam. It's a fresh perspective. He was battling internally with the Houston Rockets staff. He wants a better chance to play. He's one of the highest scoring per minute players in the NBA. This could be amazing for him. That's the case with Dalton Knecht. We may need to see a change for him as well.
I'm thinking that would be the good confidence booster because I feel like when he probably got traded, a lot of that confidence probably got knocked down a little bit and probably thought, well, yeah, they don't really want me and all that. They really don't want me. And that might still be running through his mind a little bit. And it's affecting his game now. I'm thinking if you go somewhere with a fresh start, no pressure, no championship pressure, just play ball. This front office is probably looking to keep you for a good little minute because you're young. So that'll at least get his psychological back into playing basketball. And you can play free spirit at that point because there's no pressure. There's no championship in there. And I think
I don't want to take too much from Summer League. It is Summer League Legend, so I don't want to take too much from it.
Same. I won't take too much from it as well. The only reason I'm a little concerned is because I know he's been struggling since that trade.
Yeah, he has been. He has been, absolutely. And it's just interesting, because, again, you have the Lakers, 2 guys with similar ages, similar size, similar ideals. One is thriving, but then again, we've seen this from Cole Swider before. Cole Swider has played this well at the G League and the Summer League level, but he is not able to stick once he gets to the NBA. He has his cup of coffee, and unfortunately, it doesn't taste as well as he'd like it to taste. I'll just say that. But I will say, again, I'm rooting for Knecht. I'm hoping he'll do well. He needs to take this time. Like you guys said, in defense, he's still getting blown by. He's still getting issues on the defensive end if you guys watch the games, which is concerning because a lot of these guys he's playing against now are not NBA level players. That's the concern I have, Legend, is the shot will come back and come around. I'm pretty sure of it. He's got a stroke. Yeah. The defense is what I'm concerned about. How is he addressing his defensive deficiencies if he's still having these issues and concerns about playing on the ball, playing off the ball, those kind of things? I'm very concerned about that part of it when it comes to Dalton Knecht, Legend.
Yeah, you gotta, like you said, Gerald, that's actually pretty bad to be getting blown by in Summer League because of that is not NBA level competition. That's more like college / borderline pro level, like borderline NBA. Not exactly NBA, but almost there. If you're getting blown by them, then it kind of tells you what's going to happen on the big boy level. You just going to be like a cone out there at that point. You got to improve that defense.
I have heard
you can't
that.
Just sit there,
he is trending quite a bit for the word traffic cone this weekend, and I'll just leave it at that. But again,
he does a great impression of a hot dog out there. I'm telling you.
Yeah. But it's just so interesting to see how the tables have turned. And Magic Man Sean Grice is here. So great to have him here as well. How the tables have turned for a guy like Dalton Knecht. I know this is not making it any better. A guy who, as Legend and some of our chat has surmised that maybe he's not been the same player up here since the trade did not go through. And of course, this weekend, with all the fans, I hope he does not see social media, because if he sees social media this weekend, that's going to make it even worse, Magic Man. Because again, it's not been a good weekend for him. Bronny, in his limited number of minutes, actually played pretty good. Played more like a second-year player does, with more confidence and working on things that he needs to work on. Actually, did a pretty good job, and I'm going to throw a lot of flowers his way, more so than I did at any point last season because of it. Whether he's going to be a regular rotation guy or something like that, let's wait for that, because again, it's Summer League. You can't take everything into a Summer League performance, but for now, it's just so sad to see one draftee going one way from last year and one draftee going in another way. It's just a shame, Magic Man.
It really is, Gerald. And by the way, that was some really was pretty good advice there. I was thinking, you know something? If I was a coach or an agent of one of these young fellas, I would say, yeah, you know what? Put your notifications on silent.
It's pretty bad right now. Again, I just had to look on Twitter. You just type in Connect. Yeah, it's not a
Oh,
pretty
it's
sight. And
bad.
then, yeah, but
Gerald,
I had it in our chat and playback all over, Sean.
Yeah, Gerald, I got to be honest. There's kind of like two different connects going on right now as far as like social media is concerned, his reputation. One is the guy who's seemingly showing up for 3 days and busting his ass in the gym. But then there's the other guy I see, on stage at rap shows, Gerald, and then he's partnering up with Apollo Loco, which I'm not sure if that's a chain. Would you hook up with them, Gerald? Is their food
I
good or
actually
is it
like
okay?
I like El Pollo Loco, so
Okay, all right.
it's not bad. It's not bad.
So I mean, it's good. It's good. He's has a
That
lot
might be
of.
the only endorsement deal he gets, Sean. I'm just gonna say that if he keeps
I'm
playing like
just
he's
gonna say,
playing.
yeah, Gerald. It seems like he might be spreading himself like way too thin with
It seems like it.
with his preoccupation with going his socials and his profile there, and then but you gotta be like legend. You gotta be about one or the other, right? You can't serve two
Yeah.
masters, as the Bible says. Like you got to be all in to get your game to a level where it need to be, or you're not that guy and you just kind of enjoy the shine for now. Seems like he just enjoys the shine.
That's what it looks
But
like.
go ahead, my friend. Go ahead, Legend.
Yep, I agree with Management. That's what it looks like. He just enjoy the shine because I don't know what happened, but yeah, if you go on social media, it's ugly. I mean, I'm seeing people is cracking jokes and making memes out of it, and it's getting ugly out there.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Like if like Gerald, unless you're KD, I wouldn't go at these guys because it's pretty harsh.
Shakira again. DJ Stewart, pretty solid in this game so far. 34 points, 9 assists, I believe, from both games this weekend. Again, a couple decision making that a young player makes that I would like to see him alleviate as far as I'm concerned. But outside of that, again, pretty impressive from a kid coming in there. He has bounced around himself in the G League, and that's the thing when you bring these guys in as far as the young rooks versus the guys that have bounced around the G League, the Cole Swiders, the DJ Stewarts, the Rices, just the list right there for the Lakers is endless. They're going to win some games. They're going to go ahead and try to shine themselves. So, and it also helps with the fact, guys, that there's no Adu Theoro, there's no Marcelonis. Eric Dixon seems to be MIA because they don't seem to be announcing that he's missing games, but they don't seem to be playing him either. So I don't know exactly what's going on there with Eric Dixon. So the Lakers are not playing any of their real rookies. I think they played one of their Exhibit 10 guys as far as what they've played so far. So this is giving a lot of time to experienced guys. And we're seeing that right now, Legend, as far as when you bring in experienced guys, you're going to get better performances as a team. But I'm not sure if the overall I'm not sure as far as the organization runs, because right now a lot of these guys, the stewards, the Swiders, the Baisleys, we know these guys. We've seen these guys. We know who they are. It's the rookies and the young guys you want to see play and understand where they're at. But you can't because two of them are injured and nobody knows about the third as far as Eric Dixon. It just seems like, again, the Lakers are in many ways the summer league going through the motions, but at least it's giving Bronny and Knecht some reps out there, Legend.
I would definitely say Bronny's getting better. He's getting better. I see that improvement.
He is.
He's getting better.
I'm going to say yes, he is getting better. Yes. If you saw the game that I saw, or actually two games I saw with him last year in Vegas, this is miles, and I mean miles difference, Legend, from what I saw. People were laughing at this. I have not heard so many live. I've not heard so many mean comments and things said live until that day against Houston, where he was 0 for 8 from the 3-point line and actually airballed 2 or 3 shots. People were laughing. People were saying mean things about him and his dad. I'm just stuff I won't repeat on the air, but Legend, it's just good to see him taking this seriously. He is on a minutes restriction as he gets better in shape. But again, for fans of the Lakers who want to see some talent being able to portray itself as far as hopefully a positive for the season, Legend, Bronny James, as much as, people like to say it or not say it, Bronny James may actually be able to be getting prepared. He looks like he's on his way to maybe make a contribution this season.
That's and that's the way it should be, Gerald, in your second year. Like we've seen it with other second-year players that come into summer league. They score 45 points in the game. Oh, all right, we're good. We've seen enough. You get the hook. Like we'll see you in training camp. Happened with Brandon Ingram, Gerald. Brandon Ingram played, and Gerald Ingram didn't even play that whole game. He only played 3 quarters, and that was it. The Lakers had seen enough in his second season. The difference, but Legend made a great point. I mean, the difference in improvement between Bronny and Dalton Knecht is huge, man. It's huge. I wouldn't have guessed that, Joe. I wouldn't have woken up a year later and said Bronny James is more improved player than Dalton Knecht. But pinch me, it's real. And
it is real. I saw it myself, and I'm not going to sit here and BS. And I know what Joe might say or not say.
Well, it doesn't matter what Joe says. It's the truth.
I'm not going to say, not say he's ready to step into the rotation now or anything like that. But he does. He's doing what you need to do, Magic Man. He's doing what you need to do, and getting ready for the season. He's coming in prepared like a second-year player is. So you have to give a player like Bronny credit for doing just that, Magic Man.
Absolutely, Gerald. Kudos to Bronny James because he walked the walk and now he's able to talk the talk because he said he was going to come and try and improve his game. He's not a 15, 20-point microwave scorer. He already said that. I need to be a menace defensively. I need to crowd people as much as possible, dive for every loose ball. He's doing everything he set himself out to do. It's a check mark. It's almost like I'm seeing check marks beside Bronny's box, and Dalton Knecht, I have to give a red X in almost every box, Gerald.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope it changes around. It's early, so we'll see if he can put things together. Go ahead, Legend, my friend.
I was going to say, Gerald, I totally agree with what you said earlier. I really think this man might be able to contribute a little bit now. He looked like it. I'm like Magic, man. I never would have imagined he improved more than Dalton.
I didn't think so. I didn't think last year he was not an NBA player. He was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. But he has worked hard. You can tell he has put everything into it. And I said at the time, and I saw him off camera, and I saw him how he didn't really go ahead and interact with the fans. He just went straight to that press room where there was like 40 people around him that one day. And I just thought, okay, is he going to be pampered, sheltered? All those things that people are saying because he's LeBron James' kid. Well, give him some credit. He has put himself in a position where he has improved. And that does not come through anything other than hard work in the gym. Hard work on there. Doesn't matter if dad or the Lakers paid however many for trainers or assistant coaches or whatever. He is showing improvement. And the people out there, all those people last year who said Bronny's going to be this and Bronny's going to be that, you know what? You might get your say. You might get your say because, again, we'll see how it matriculates through camp, matriculates through the early part of exhibition season. That'll determine whether or not he'll get some shine, especially on a very weak bench. He has the opportunity. The Lakers have still, in my opinion, a very weak bench. Jake LaRavia hopefully will be a plus for us. I mentioned it to you guys as far as my reservations on him. I know, Magic, you're high on him. I'm actually hoping that he'll have the season comparable to what he did last season, guys. But he was, you got to remember, his first 2 seasons doing so poorly in the eyes of Memphis. They did a JHS and did not. They made him because he was a 4-year contract. But they took off the fourth year before they started his third year because he had done so poorly like JHS. So he was going to be an unrestricted free agent, which is why he got traded to Sacramento, because the Memphis Grizzlies had already given up on him. He has improved though, so I'm hoping that improvement will continue with the Lakers. But this bench, guys, for the Lakers is not that strong. So Bronny should have every opportunity to prove himself to see if that gets done, Legend. And I'll bring it right back to you, Sean.
Yeah, this is it. So with this weak bench, this is your time to shine. This is your time to show. I am better than I'm meant to be in the NBA. And I'm thinking if he continue to improve the way he's doing, he might be a good role player. I don't see superstar now like that, but I see a good role player who can be a contribution for anybody around the league. And this ain't the better year to sit here and prove it going into Dad's 23rd year. So this is a good opportunity, a really good opportunity.
Alan, let's temper. The only thing I'll say, Alan, is that again, we're going, when it comes to LaRavia, Sean, it is 1 year that we're going off of. And whether people have been all over the place on this defense, whether people say it's good, people say bad. Even on this show, people have said it's good. People say, I'm going to say from what I've seen, it's in the middle. It's nothing that I have seen that stands out, which I'm hoping with a longer, view of him coming up this season will change in a even more positive fashion. So I'm hoping that, again, he will be the kind of player that we need on a two-way, and that his shot will be what it is in his third year as opposed to his first 2 years. Because, again, he struggled mightily in his first 2 years overall, so much so that Memphis did not have any confidence in him to stay his full entire rookie contract. I'm hoping he will prove them wrong, and I'm hoping he will prove Rob and the Lakers right this season, Magic Man.
Gerald, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Chip Englund, who was the Spurs shooting coach for a really long time, moved to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he was there working with Jake LaRavia. So it's not for a lack of coaching development in Memphis, Gerald. And besides the point, they invested a first-round pick in LaRavia. That's a big investment. So for them to come to him and his agent and say, that 4-year deal we had, look at the contract. If you underperform, we could slice a year off that, and that's what we're gonna do. And I mean, Gerald, look. If people want to talk about LaRavia's passable defense, then I would also submit that you also mention Luke Kennard with passable defense, because Luke Kennard was the one who supplanted Jake LaRavia in the Memphis Grizzlies rotation. So if you're going to snipe at Kennard's defense, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yes. And I'm saying, look at it realistically, guys. You guys get so jaded on Ayton and LaRavia. Ayton's here because it didn't work out in Phoenix and Portland. It's going to be a low-risk, high-reward deal for the Lakers. It's an $8 to $9 million deal. All he has to do is get 15. If he gets 15 and 10, boom, we're all pleased. We're all happy as Larks. He's going to be happy because he's going to get a bigger paycheck, and the Lakers will get a better team because of it. That's what I'm hoping will get done, and I'm hoping so. But you got to remember, he has burned 2 bridges already in the NBA. You guys have to be very well aware. That's a fact. They drafted centers because they didn't like what they saw in DeAndre Ayton. And with LaRavia, it's one much, much better season than what he had in his first 2 seasons. So again, I'm hoping he is going to be continuing on the come up. It's a $6 million deal for 2 years, $6 million each year. It's an easy contract to get rid of if it doesn't work out. So it's also buy low, sell high, or low risk, high reward for both on both those deals. So I'm grateful that the Lakers on these two, they don't have to spend draft picks or anything like that as far as spend a whole lot of money to get off both those contracts if they don't work out. But if they do work out, it's going to be big money for them, and it's going to be some wins for the Lakers this fall. We'll see what happens. But guys, it is one season. Temper your expectations because you guys come in, they think you guys, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You guys have to temper your enthusiasm until you see it on the floor at crypto.
100%, Gerald. How many articles have you and I scanned through the past 3 days? Oh, the perfect center for Luka. The perfect center for Luka. The perfect center for LeBron. Yeah,
he's gonna unlock Ayton. He's gonna unlock Ayton. Well, it's up to Ayton to unlock
himself. Yes. And he, at this point in time, he's been in the league for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and he's made one All NBA team, Gerald. That was his rookie year in 2019. Yeah. Even when he had that outstanding playoffs for the 2021 season, voters just weren't convinced, Gerald. They weren't convinced because you kind of see this performance. 5 games, he's electric, right? 26-13, maybe 3.5. But Gerald, the next week comes and maybe you get 12-9, 1.5, and he fouls out in 2 of the games. I mean, the motor is just going to be an issue. And by the way, and here's the thing, Gerald. People think because in science 2 positives can create a negative, that means that because Lucas had conditioning issues and Trade has had conditioning issues, that means together those conditioning issues will not be a factor. Well, I submit, Gerald, like you said, we have to wait until we see it on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. But I credit LaRavia for turning his career around. Again, he could be like JHS right now, playing for the Philadelphia 76ers Summer League, worried about where he's going to go next. Is he going to go play in China, Europe, the G League? Because, again, he has not looked too impressive, especially standing alongside BJ Edgecombe, who is killing it in Summer League. So I'll just say this again. Give a whole bunch of credit to Jake LaRavia, and it's nice that the Lakers got a guy that's actually on the come up. He is doing better, much substantially better than he was. Finally, things are clicking into place for him, and at the right time, the Lakers could go ahead and get him. I still think, again, their bench needs a lot of help because it's much, you replace DFS with LaRavia, but you still have Vincent, Vando, Hayes, Knecht, and that's not lighting the world on fire. So Bronny will get those opportunities. Don't be surprised if you see Bronny a lot more, especially early on in the season. The thing is, once he's given that opportunity, will he take advantage of
it? Gerald, he has every opportunity in front of him to make this happen. It's up to him. I would say this. If Bronny is one of our leading scorers off the bench, that's probably a good thing for the Lakers because that means we're not averaging 24 points off the bench anymore. We're in the 30s, which is where a decent bench should be. Your bench shouldn't be averaging 25 points a game. And for that matter, Gerald, LaRavia, I think LaRavia is a safety valve for Dalton Knecht because if Knecht isn't playing well and Bronny is, guess what? Bronny gets to play and LaRavia gets Dalton Knecht's minutes. It's just that I think it's just that simple.
And it is important for me, guys, to have a deep bench because the fact that you have a 40-year-old in LeBron James that you're relying heavily upon. And then also Luka Doncic that you're also relying upon. These guys are playing 30, 35 minutes each and every game. It would be nice if you see if even 2 to 5 minutes can be cut down with some quality guys that are backing them up. But I just don't see that outside of Laravia as of yet. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that that is going to be alleviated over the course of the summer. Maybe we can get one or more guys in there. I'm going to go ahead and bring a roster breakdown here in a second, but let me go ahead and touch off with Legend a little bit more. VJ Edgecombe coming in as the number 3 draft pick last night was absolute killer. 28 points, 10 rebounds. Your thoughts on this, my friend, when it comes right down to it, because it really was very impressive performance. We talked about how first year players, rookie players, they come in, their eyes are wide open. They have no idea where to do, what to go through. They've only been through like a couple practices, and then they come in there, and then it's all them, it's all me. Again, summer league is what it is. A lot of these guys are just there to impress themselves. Passing sometimes it's not at a premium, a lot of one-on-one action, what have you. But VJ Edgecombe, he tried to go ahead and do a lot of things out there that was really impressive. Probably one of the best initial rookie performances we've seen in some time. Your thoughts on VJ Edgecombe as he dominated the California Classic last night?
I would say
That's a good sign.
Oh, go ahead, Magic, and then I'll get you, Legend. Go ahead, Legend. Go ahead,
I was going to say, Joe. I think I think it was a great performance. Physically, he's the most ready of all the lottery picks. So all due respect to Ace Bailey. I know you thought you'd come in rocking and rolling right away, but just it hasn't happened yet for Ace. So Edgecombe looks like the real deal to me, Gerald. My biggest concern about his development is the team that drafted him, because they already have a glut of guards on that team. And for God's sakes, there's only one ball, and Paul George is still on the roster. So
Podcast P.
Oh man. So like Gerald, if you could find a way to play Maxime, Kane, and Edgecombe, oh boy, that is a fast team. And
you have Grimes waiting in the wings, possibly. If they match whoever tries to make a bid on it.
They could possibly be the most exciting team in the NBA with the guards, and as Gerald said, with the development they have. Nurse likes to play the young guys as well. He's not going to shy away just because they're a little green around the gills. So I would just say this, Gerald. I would not play VJ Edgecombe with Paul George. I would play off Maxey or McCain and be able to get Edgecombe good looks, because I wouldn't give the responsibility and accountability to Paul George to help another player get good shots, because that's just not who Playoff P is. Playoff P gets his, and if you move or if you're open, he might find you, but for the most part, he's about himself. And so I like we said, Gerald, that organization needs to figure out what they want to do here, because they're bobbing up and down the water. Like, you're either going to commit fully to this retooling with the young kids, or you're going to decide to keep the long in the tooth, I'll say, Embiid and George in there, and watch guys like Edgecombe and McCain and possibly Maxey just leave in the next 5 to 7 years, because you just didn't develop them and you didn't play them the way they should be played as young players.
Legend, your thoughts on this? Again, a very impressive debut for VJ Edgecombe. Hopefully he can take that momentum. Again, we've seen players just kill it in the summer league, and it's amounted to absolutely zero. So I don't want to, again, just like Dalton Knecht's performance, from lack of a better word, there's the reverse, which is VJ Edgecombe. I don't want to put a whole bunch into it, but man, it's always good for the confidence when you get off to such a good start, Legend.
Always good for the confidence and good for the team too. See your rookie go out here and starting off strong and showing no signs of nervousness or anything like that. That's a positive sign and good for him as well. I agree with Magic Man. Maybe not have him and Paul George on the court together probably be the best thing to do because you only got one ball. But to me, going into the season, that's a good thing to see. Hopefully that also give him confidence, knowing that he can maybe translate this to the NBA. If you're doing this well on Summer League, hopefully you can transfer a good bit of what you're doing there onto the main level. But that's good. I mean, I give him credit. They did good. Got a good Ricky. Got to get the team together properly and pray maybe Embiid stay healthy. But
we'll see. But before we head to our winners and losers in the offseason, I want to go ahead and just touch on where we stand after today. Magic Man with the world's largest NBA trade taking place. And like you said, and like you showed us, the Adu Thiero, the second round draft pick, who was part of that record trade, getting a contract signed, a rookie contract was signed. So we're wishing him well on that. Right now, at least the Lakers with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think 15 if you include Shake Milton, but I don't think he's not been waived as of yet because they have until the 20th for him. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct, Gerald. It looks like they're gonna also, I think, give D'Anthony Melton a little bit of the BAE that's left, along with the vet min. So
yes, because I know JSJ is absolutely livid that re-signing Jackson Hayes bid into the BAE. Either that, but there was Amir Coffey is somebody who I was looking to see if the Lakers would be interested. Well, Intel Wild got me into, and I'm going to credit him. Intel Wild got me into Amir Coffey. I've looked at a little bit more tape, looked at the numbers, and seeing it. I think that he might have a chance to crack the rotation for the Lakers if he was given the opportunity as well. But we'll have to wait and see. Either one. Again, D'Anthony Melton coming out the ACL injury. We'll have to see where he's at. He worked well for your Warriors, their legend. Until he got hurt. And again, they were playing very well with it. The two-way players you see is Trey Jamison, Eric Dixon. That is subject to change. The way Cole Swider, DJ Stewart have been playing, they must get some consideration to at least go to camp. RJ Davis played well. The one of the Exhibit 10 kids that from North Carolina. He also played pretty well at times. Rice had some good moments, and Darius Baisley had good moments as well. A lot of these guys, again, they have traveled through the G League system quite a bit. They bounced around, some of these guys, so keep continuing to hear these names because throughout the course of the Summer League, I have a feeling a lot of these guys will continue their performance with it, but they are known quantities to the NBA. So I don't know if they get a fair look the third, fourth, fifth time around, Magic Man. I think when a lot of, because the Vegas Summer League is not just about the NBA and can they get a camp invite. Some of these players, there are scouts, and I've been there and I've seen scouts, talking in different European languages, European scouts, Australians from Australian League scouts, Chinese Basketball Association scouts. They're from all around the world because they look at these guys and say, hey, if they're not going to make the NBA, they could be good for one of our rosters.
100%, Gerald. There's always somebody looking for talent anywhere in the NBA, anywhere in the world. Yeah. China, Santiago, Chile, Brazil.
Dominican Republic.
Gerald, if there was a basketball court in Antarctica, and there was a 7'2" who could shoot threes, the scouts would go to Antarctica, Gerald. So, if you could play, you could play. We've talked about this before, Gerald. I'm a huge proponent of that, always have been since a kid. Yeah. The possibilities are wide open here. I will say this, though, Gerald. I am really interested in when he gets healthy to see Marshall Yunus. I loved his dad when he played in the NBA, and we'll see if he is a gem that the Lakers have found, another diamond in the rough. But The possibilities are endless right now, Gerald. And by the way, Gerald, with expansion opening up, I would not be surprised if the NBA Players Association wanted a roster expanded to 16 or 17.
I wouldn't be surprised either, and that would give a lot of these kids that are like right on the fringe, like the Cole Spiders of the world,
Yes.
an opportunity, and that's what I root for. I root for those guys like Cole Swider. They just keep working. You can see he's probably refused better money deals, Legend, than what has been, in Europe or other places to try and chase that NBA dream. It may have cost him in the short run. I'm hoping, even though he is getting now in his prime, I'm hoping that he'll get the opportunity, whether it's with the Lakers or someone else, for a contract, a real, legitimate, multi-year NBA contract. We see what happens when you stick to it. Today or yesterday, Jay Huff got traded from Memphis to Indiana. Most likely he will be their starting center. He worked hard, bounced around, Lakers, Washington, other teams. He was on the fringe, but worked hard enough. Scottie Pippen Jr. as well, worked hard enough to get a multi-year contract. I'm hoping that one day for Cole Swider and DJ Stewart and some of these other kids as well. Maybe expansion will do just that, Legend, whenever it comes out. And hopefully that will be done.
I'm hoping so as well. And that's one of the things I love about the NBA is when you see these type of kids who are turning down opportunity to try to get to the NBA, and you can't help but cheer them on and hoping for the best for them. And I'm hoping too when that expansion happens, add a couple more roster spots, and then a lot of these kids who have been working their butt off have a chance to finally live that dream and get into the NBA. I know some of them don't mind being on the bench, just happy to be in the league, just being happy to be there, and hoping so. And I'm hoping Cole will get an opportunity somewhere around the league too to really shine. Cause he do remind me of Scottie Pippen Jr. Because up to this day, I'm still amazed at how much Scottie Pippen Jr. improved drastically, and he looks so good now. And can't help but be so happy for the kid to see how far he done come.
Once again, it is, of course, the Magic Man, Sean Grice, Legend from I Got Knecht Sports Media, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this thing. Again, the Lakers, mixed results, a 1-1 record this weekend at the California Classic. But if you have thoughts on the highs and lows so far of the California Classic, and remember, it's just Summer League, but take some positives away from Bronny, Cole Swider, DJ Stewart, and also don't take too much into the negatives as of yet for Dalton Knecht, among others. So please go ahead and let us know in the comments your thoughts on the California Classic and how the Lakers are doing in the comments right there for you or below if you're watching as well. But guys, it is NBA free agency still underway. I know that you were talking smack and forth to Joe Soro, Magic Man, so I'll let you continue to do that. But it is, of course, Magic Man Sean Grice and Legend, along with me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching and listening. So, guys, again, we're several days into free agency, about a week into free agency as we record this. And I want to ask your thoughts. Yeah, okay, all right. Here we go. All right, they're going back and forth on it. Legend, I want to start with you first, my friend. You've had a team, your two favorite teams. I'm going to put, if I'm picking here as far as some teams, about three teams that I would think is on the good list, and I would think as far as three teams that are on the losers list, winners and losers of NBA free agency so far. Your two teams, I would have one on the winners and one on, I guess losers by the fact that they just didn't seem to want to participate at all. We get mad at Rob for not being very busy, but Mike Dunleavy Jr., did he go on vacation or something? Because
he must did. We ain't heard from him most of this entire period.
Uh-huh. Your thoughts, my friend, on a winner team for you this offseason?
I gotta say the Atlanta Hawks. Not just because they're my favorite, but because of they did more moves than I really would have saw coming, and they made a lot of really good moves. They are really locking in on East is wide open. Let's go. And then I gotta say, shout out to Trae Young too. He reached out to a lot of people, and Nall was one of them. He reached out to, and someone I forgot the other person we recently signed to. He reached out to him as well. And Trae Young has really been out there. I guess you might say a little bit of tampering possibly, but he been really out there recruiting, helping out for the franchise, and he done his thing.
Yeah, it's so funny because we had some people talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers draft choice working out with LeBron in Ohio. And the point, trying to put something into it. They all work out with each other. It's not that uncommon. So, guys, stop making a big deal about all this stuff. But Atlanta, really great offseason. Magic, I'm going to touch on that one first. They should be anyone's winners of the offseason. Obviously, getting Porzingis in the trade. Obviously, getting Joe's favorite sounding, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. As far as obtaining those guys, shoring up as far as Asa Newell, as far as a backup forward, and go along with the youth that they have and the defensive tenacity that they have at almost every position. I think even more Heat, though, and Legend, I think, would agree with me on this. I think now the Heat, because he just talked about Trae facilitating, trying to work out for this team and trying to do stuff behind the scenes to help get these guys in there. A lot of pressure now falls onto him. This team now is in a position where I wouldn't put them at the top, mind you, but I would put them somewhere in the top 5 in the Eastern Conference. Where you put them, I don't care. It's up to you. But they now have enough bodies if they're healthy to be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference. And if they don't get there and they don't make a good showing in the playoffs, I think a lot of the Heat has to center around Trae Young, if that's the case.
100%, Gerald. 100%. And I mean, I would go so far as to say that they have the best offensive coach in the Eastern Conference. I mean, there's Quinn Snyder, and then, man, I got to think about that one. But regardless, Gerald, probably Kenny Atkinson is right there too. But regardless, they got a really good coach. They got a really good rotation now, Gerald, and they can play big or small. So I think they've set themselves up, like you said, to be. I see them having home court in the playoffs, Gerald. So like top 5 to me, yeah, I could see top 5, but I see them as a top 4. I really do. I think they'll have home court. I think the big advantage would be is that 1 seed is that you have home court in rounds 2 and 3. And I think, being in the same division, I think the Magic and the Hawks are just going to swing at each other all year for that 1 seed.
Ooh. Really? Because the Magic and the Hawks, again, Magic also did a lot of things leading up to the draft. I thought that was helping their team. Obviously, getting Desmond Bane. I still think they need more around the edges to improve their offense. No one questions their defense with the length and size that they have, Legend. But Atlanta, I do think is going to be a team on the move. And in a depleted East, now's their time to shine. I mean, they could, if everything falls into place, be a team that's competitive against a New York, against an Indiana, against a team maybe not as high as Cleveland. I would still say Cleveland maybe matches up too strongly for them, but I see a team that really, if things work out, could make a difference in the Eastern Conference.
They definitely can, and I was same as you, Gerald. I would still say, not sure they can beat Cleveland. I got to see how that works, but they got a shot. I mean, things can happen, things can fall your way. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm gonna always bring up Indiana. Ain't nobody saw Indiana make it to the NBA Finals at the beginning of the season. Ain't nobody saw that coming. And sometimes the chips just fall your way. So I mean, things can fall your way. A path can open up. You get to the finals. You surprise yourself that you make the finals, and things gonna happen. And to me, whoever come out the East, your toughest game gonna be whoever come out that West. That's gonna be your toughest opponent.
Magic Man, who is on your list? Give me one winner that you have so far this offseason.
The Denver Nuggets. You replaced. If JV stays, he stays. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Oh,
But
he is staying according to
of
Denver.
course, yeah.
Denver said, you are staying.
But
No grease for you. You are staying. I'll tell you what. We'll tell you all the good Greek places to eat there in Denver or in suburban Colorado, right there. You are staying. So all those people the other day that said, "Oh, he's going." Well, Denver said, not quite so fast, right, Magic?
contract.
Contract. You signed.
That's right. And if I think they told, you try to be slick and retire and then sign that deal, right? And then we'll see you in court.
Absolutely. And again,
But-
it's not that big of a difference from what the Greek team was offering to him to what he's actually making. It's only
Yeah.
$2 or $3 million.
But I mean,
difference.
yeah. The numbers are negligible, but that there's a bigger negligence in the NBA drill because the Nuggets were able to replace 2 rotational players for 4.
Yeah.
For 4.
4. That's amazing.
And if you get a revival of Bruce Brown, which I know a lot of people were upset the Lakers didn't get, I just don't think Bruce Brown, legend, let me bring it back to you real quickly to feed off of what Magic Man's saying is Denver being one of the winners of this offseason, which I agree with him totally on that. I think that's a very astute observation. If Bruce Brown, the resurrection of Bruce Brown as a player, because when he left, he took the big money and he went off the deep end. Indiana didn't work out. Toronto didn't work out. And New Orleans didn't work out. But he comes back. Jokic is that kind of player. You know what? Playing with Jokic, JV may say, you know what? Sorry, Greece. I was good. I'm good because playing with Jokic. Jokic is the type of player that can change people's perspectives on how they approach the game of basketball. And in doing so, we may see a revival of Bruce Brown that we may have not gotten on any other team. So when I said I'm happy for him that he goes to Denver, and that's probably the best outlook right now for him, that's all because he's at a point in his career, legend, where he had the highs of highs coming off that championship team. Now he's going on the low of lows. Can Jokic resurrect him? And if he can, that just strengthens that bench even more.
I would definitely say probably when you love, he was I'm trying to say how the kids today say it. He was smelling himself a little bit. You know, you won the championship, feeling yourself when you got the money, and then you realize, well, damn, I'm not what I thought I was. So now you come back, you eat a little bit of humble pie, you gonna do your role properly. And I think he'll do a lot better this time around. I think in those 2 starts, those 2 struggles kind of woke you up a little bit and realized you wasn't what you thought you was, and get back into your role now. And I think being in Denver will be good for him. Denver, they definitely won. That bench look a whole lot better.
They're definitely a winner. I agree. I think Magic Man, you're right as well on Denver. Where this places them, I early, very early. Again, we will have predictions as it gets close to the regular season. But right now, if it stands and the JV situation doesn't get any messier with what they have, and obviously the trade for Cam Johnson, trading away Michael Porter Jr. to get a substantially less costly player that ultimately might be a better individual than the one you just traded. So it's a win and a win in that trade for Denver there, Magic Man.
100% Gerald, and believe it or not, they're doing this all with an interim GM. He doesn't even have the job yet. He's working for his job, Gerald. Well, he's done a pretty good job so far in the offseason and the draft, I'd say. Yeah, definite winner for sure, Gerald. And I'm with you. I'm not sure exactly where to place them right now. I think they more remind me a lot of, say, they're in that second tier, I would say, with the Clippers and the Timberwolves. You have a really nice front court. Like, the front court is deep and it's very versatile. You're thin at the guard position. So I'm not sure if I could vault you into that OKC Houston category yet.
I agree with you. I agree with my friend. And while Legend is going away, taking care of something, Magic Man, I'm going to hit you up with my first winner in this scenario this offseason. And it's a team that I think took advantage of a situation with the Lakers because DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith, the Lakers, decided to go ahead and take his talents to Houston on a 4-year deal. The Lakers, because of his age and because of their commitment and the fact that they're looking long term, whether it's next year or the year beyond, depending on who you read and who you see, they decided they didn't want to commit to it, so they let him walk for nothing, essentially. Okay, part of that big 7-team trade or whatever. But, I mean, it is what it is. They essentially let him walk for nothing and traded 3 seconds to even get him here in the first place, which again, it speaks volumes, and that's another discussion for another day if you want to talk about Rob Pelinka and the type of job he's doing. But be that as it may, my friend, Houston took advantage. Houston is going all in. I think they see what you and I see in regards to the possible flaws in the armor in return about when it comes to OKC. OKC, great team. OKC, an abundance of talent. OKC, abundance of draft picks and whatnot. But as we saw during the playoffs, if you limit your turnovers, you limit the number of free throws that they get, you get them in a half-court game, they are very susceptible because they are very predictable in the half-court. They see that, and they needed to help Houston themselves to improve their own half-court and did just that by getting Kevin Durant. They got a DFS, a clutch player who plays both ways and can hit the three-point shot. Won't get you much more than 10, but on a team like that, they don't need much more than 10 a game from him. They just need hard defense and three-pointers. They got themselves Clint Capella on top of re-signing Adams, so they've got beef up front. Like you said before with Denver, maybe some issues in the backcourt that they probably still need filling out and addressing. But I'll tell you what, my friend, Houston looks like a viable contender for a title this season.
They sure do, Gerald. They sure do. I would probably put them in, like, if you could do a pre-season power ranking, they would probably be 3 or 4 to me. To me, they got everything, Gerald. You got a tough as nails coach. You got nice backcourt players. Gerald, we were talking about the undrafted. I mean, who's the flag bearer of calling up every team and saying, I want to be undrafted? It's Freddie VanVleet, and he's their emotional leader for the Houston Rockets, no doubt. So you just got a mean team too, Gerald. Thompson's mean. Adams is mean. KD could play with an attitude. So this is a team that has a lot of the elements and the ingredients that you need to win a championship. Plus, I'll say this. I mean, OKC better be on the lookout for a 3D player, and they better be willing to give up Lou Dort and something else, because ain't nobody on that team 6'9", ready to cover KD in a 7-game series, Gerald. And with the game on the line, I love OKC's spirit and their tenacity, but ain't nobody on that roster big enough to try and check KD with 5 to 8 seconds left on the baseline, Gerald. KD's just gonna line you up and put you on the graveyard list with a lot of other dudes who thought they could guard him. So, Gerald, I would favor OKC just slightly, just barely in a 7-game series right now.
But if one of their big two gets injured, all bets are off, my friend.
All bets are off for that.
SGA, because they get very predictable if that's the case.
100%. Yeah, it's game over. It's more of, now they gotta basically be ground a pound. If you got one guy out, because that's the element they miss if one of them are out, is the element of surprise. And you're right, Gerald. Either one of those two go down, I mean, it's DOA for OKC.
And I agree with you, Legend of Experiment. If you had to, I'm going to be like most analyst legends right now between Houston and Denver. I think they're very close. I think the additions that they made, they both had great summers. I think the additions that both have made have been very, very good to their rosters. I think they've been made sound decisions. that are all-in type of deals. In the case of Denver, in a lot of their situations are bonus, double bonus. They got less expensive. They took money out their cap, and they got better all at the same time, which is something you don't see very often. So, like you said, Sean, hats off to the interim GM working in Denver right now. But Legend, I'd probably say, and this might change, but like I've said to Legend of Experiment, that if I had to lean right now, I'm going to say Houston's going to have the better regular season. But I think in the postseason, I would still. It's really hard to vote or say against Jokic if he has anywhere near a comparable team to yours. It's really hard to bet against Jokic in a 7-game series. He almost single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, but he almost took that team over OKC to 7 games. And I'll tell you what, now that he has a bench behind him, bench behind him, yeah.
That's the one team that might scare them because Peyton Watson is tall enough, strong enough. He could give KD a good go. Now KD's
good. And they didn't even have to give up their youth. They didn't have to get Watson or Braun. They're two best players that are young.
Kept them both.
That's the part he did really good at.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll see. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Jeremy from Australia, great to have you here. Magic Man and Legend in the house as well. Truly appreciate you joining us. We're talking the winners and the losers of the offseason and free agency so far. Cannot thank you enough for joining us. Legend, any other teams that you feel in free agency or in overall in this offseason really stand out to you? Really stand out to you with some really good moves so far this offseason. There's still a little bit more to go. There's still some restricted free agents. There's still some unrestricted free agents, but for the most part, it's already done. Who else do you think stands out besides Houston, Denver, and who else we mentioned? Houston, Denver, and Atlanta. That's right. Houston, Denver, and the Hawks, my friend.
They didn't really do much, but I'm gonna say this from a fan base standpoint. I think Dallas did good getting what happened with them. They got number 1 pick.
Always great to get number 1 pick left all in your lap.
They needed it. I feel like for them, that's good for them. I know they've been through a lot the last couple months, and I feel like that for the city of Dallas, that is good. Can't get no better than that to me right there. That they needed it. So hopefully now that maybe that city will start to recover at this point.
Legend of Experiment says Cleveland did good by getting Lonzo Ball. I'm hoping Lonzo Ball will be first healthy throughout the entire season. Again, as all has been said and done over the career of Lonzo Ball, BBB, the whole 9 yards, you wish for him good health because, there was a chance and there was a time, Magic Man, where he could barely even walk and go upstairs. And now he's gotten himself back into shape, playing in the league. Now he gets a chance to go ahead and make a difference, I believe, in Cleveland. That could be an under-the-radar pickup for them. Cleveland looks like it just needs some things that they needed to tweak around the edges. If they're healthy, should be a dominant team in what is considered by many to be an even weakened Eastern Conference with Damian Lillard now gone. And, of course, Tatum and Halliburton now injured for all, if not most, of the season.
Yeah, I thought Kobe Altman did a great job. He was going to lose Ty Jerome. He knew it. So what did he do? He went out in the trade market, Gerald, and he acquired Lonzo Ball. So, it's slightly different games, but Lonzo's a little bit taller than Ty. They can both get hot from 3, Gerald, and they both fit seamlessly in that system. So I think that was a great pickup. I agree. They brought back Sam Merrill, Gerald, and I thought the draft was good. The only thing I would say is, I think they've given up on Amani Bates too soon. But you got so many young cats on that squad anyway that somebody was going to have to have to get the old waiver claim, and it turns out it was Amani Bates. So I thought it was a great offseason for Cleveland. I agree. I would put them like in tier 2, like not great, but very good to good. The two teams that had really bad off seasons, Gerald, are the Indiana Pacers and the Pelicans. I mean, for different reasons, but I would say those two would qualify as losers. Unfortunately for the Pacers, I mean, it started before the season even ended, unfortunately. My goodness. It was such an awful thing to happen. And then I thought, Gerald, they were kind of up. They were kind of up against it. I get it, and you don't want to spend money on free agency, especially when you want
Indiana's
to
a team
sign
that's
your
never
guys.
paid the tax. They've
They've
never paid the tax.
the tax. No, and they'd rather pay their guys than somebody else's guys, which I can understand because your guys normally get a discount or will take one because of the system they're in. That being said, Gerald, yeah, I mean, getting Jay Huff to replace Miles Turner, I mean, that's, hats off to Jay Huff. I'm sure he'll have a good year, but, trying to aggregate that kind of lost production there it's a huge loss. And it's more of a salt in the wound because it was the Milwaukee Bucks who signed him, your arch rival, the team you hate. It hates you. I mean, people from Wisconsin, Indiana can't stand Joe. Every time on Fox, I see Wisconsin and Indiana football play. I mean, it's just like fights breaking out in the stands. So I know those two states do not like one another, and it's got to seethe Pacers fans that Miles Turner is going to be a Buck. They're going to see Miles Turner in a Buck uniform.
Well, I just don't know what that does, guys. I don't know what that does for Milwaukee, Legend. They got Miles Turner to pair alongside Giannis. If Giannis still wants to stay there, I mean, if I'm Giannis, I'm still like, okay. And then you brought some of our guys back for a team that didn't even make it out of the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. I mean, Damian Lillard's gone, but the thing is, now you're stuck on his salary. $22.5 million was the buyout for the next 5 seasons. So in order to get Miles Turner, you basically mortgaged your future for this, Legend. So your thoughts, my friend, on this? I mean, does this set themselves up for success, or is this a very risky move and a desperate move in trying to keep one Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Desperate. Right now, it looks pretty bad. They are like swinging. I'm gonna say they had the casino bet and everything. They got bet in their house and their wife and everything right now because this was a very risky move. And I really think Giannis going to end up leaving. I think he's gonna be gone. So I feel like once he leaves, they're gonna regret what they did. The best thing I can really tell them at this point, see, can you trade him and get something back? That's the best I can really say. I feel like I
think they're just waiting for him. They're just waiting for an answer to him, dude. Does Giannis want to commit, or does he want to be traded?
That's what it sounds like. What they probably are doing. It's just they're taking a chance on you mortgaging everything. Like you didn't know this man's gonna come back, and that is a risky game to play in the NBA, especially knowing a superstar who probably you're gonna look at the roster and say this ain't gonna do it. Like you said, Jerry, you just brought everybody back from a team that can't even get past the first round. Miles Turner ain't gonna move the needle. That's not gonna move it.
No.
They might as well get ready to read.
And I understand, guys, that's only going to be about later on as the cap gets bigger. It's only going to be about 5 to 7% Magic Man of the cap going on. But that's $22.5 million a year for 5 years. That's not going to get fresher. That's not going to get, it just sits there. You can't trade it. You can't move it. You can't rub it away.
And Gerald, think about this. The longer this goes on, it's not you're paying Damian Lillard $22.5 million a year. You're paying Miles Turner $50.
And if you go into the tax, Magic Man, or if you're repeater tax,
man,
it becomes more essentially than $22.5 million. It becomes a lot more.
Yeah, Gerald, they might have bit from the poison apple there.
That's even worse.
This could be the original sin here for the Milwaukee Bucks, being in cap hell in the NBA.
You in the tats with a team that can't get past the first round.
Well, I think it's the classic definition of, you sold your soul for a championship. And now you got to deal with the fallout from that, guys. And I think Milwaukee is clearly in the middle of dealing with the fallout from it because they made every maneuver to be irrelevant and then eventually a championship team and try to stay relevant with Giannis for as long as they could. But you only have so many assets. You only have so many things that could work in your favor. Something that really went out of whack for them was Damian Lillard getting that Achilles injury. And basically that has that's thrown their entire team in disarray. Signing Miles Turner will not fix this. And I just, at some point you might be honest with Giannis and say, hey, whether it's the Lakers, which I know was very much thought of by Keenan in our Facebook chat, and then or anywhere else, just it's time maybe to go ahead and look for other alternatives. We want you to be happy. I'm just not sure. You guys, it's about being honest with yourself, and I'm not sure the Bucks really are, Legend. I'm not sure the Bucks truly are being honest with themselves over their future.
Yeah, I get the feeling they are still dreaming right now, thinking of that. This is still 2022. We still got a chance to win another title. They haven't accepted the fact that it was probably time to go and do the rebuilding process and start over. And I think they hate, and I think what partly getting them the most, they hate to lose Giannis. They hate to see Giannis walk. But I think it's over. I think you need to go and look to trade him and get some assets back, rebuild his franchise, and start over. Ain't no point of going into deep tax for nothing. Just to be losing.
Well, look at who's here. It's a guy who just was on for an hour on his channel talking about the Dodgers with the Dodgers fast pitch and the fact that they didn't do so hot this past weekend against the Astros, the way he spelled it. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. We've talked about some of the winners so far this offseason. I know there's a winner that people want us to go ahead and talk about with the Lakers. Two individuals in Jake LaRavia and also as well DeAndre Ayton. Low risk, high reward type of players that again, they're not on expensive contracts. They have a high potential of producing at a much better rate than they did for their previous teams. With Luka on the floor with them, playing at a MVP-like level that we anticipate could be a really good season for both of them. It makes it, or could make it, that the Lakers, even though they're not really, in my opinion, going all in on next season, as you and Empire Jeff has stated, that they're looking for down the road with a new ownership and also a little bit of money stored away for later seasons, that they could both still be happy. The Lakers fans could be happy with a strong season with those two additions, but still be set up for success down the road.
I don't think they're done. I think they're going to do something here in a few weeks. They're going to go all in because they want to give LeBron the last shot at whatever. And I don't know where all this trade talk's coming from. I hope it's not coming from his deadbeat friends, but if it is, it's a pretty stupid one because it's quite obvious that it is them. But go in as much as you can with what you can trade. It's just not that big of a loss in terms of what you have. If you feel like you can get something that can make the team better, if you can replace Austin Reeves with someone who could play both ways, if you can replace Rui with someone that can be more consistent throughout an 82-game season and playoffs. And I'm not saying that Rui is not doing everything he can with the skills he has. He is. But it's not enough. It's not enough. They need more talent. But there's not really much out there anyways. And that's really the point.
And that's the question you have to ask yourself if you're the Lakers at this point. Is acquiring a great player right now worth trading that extra pick? Or do you keep your powder dry for a little bit here, Gerald. Wait until the year passes. Then all of a sudden we're in the 2026 year. And you can trade draft picks how many years in advance, Gerald? 7.
Yes.
So that means you could trade the 26, 31, and the 33 all in the same deal.
Right now they can only trade 2. I think
They can only trade 2. That's right.
They got another one in the past couple of days with the league's calendar going over to a new financial year. So in doing so, they do give themselves some more options with 2 draft picks, 2 first rounders. But again, I think right now, unless something big happens, the signings were good, low risk, high reward. But again, they don't put the Lakers in a substantially better position than they were at the end of next year, end of this past season. They still need more. Their bench is still suspect. They still need defense along the perimeter. They still have holes that they need to fill. I'm hoping, Joe, that they will go ahead and make the moves that they can around the edges to do just that.
Anthony, I'm going to drink a beer with you in a few minutes here after I finish this question. The Lakers, it looks like the Lakers have been thinking the same thing some of us have been thinking here the last few months, and that is, what can you do to get talent here without giving up half of your assets in 50 years? I think that's been played out here a little bit. Can we, 2033 draft pick, really? How about we do this? How about you play out the year, get as many talented players as you can with what you have right now. Try to keep as much talent as you can for depth purposes, right? And then play it out. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe somebody gets hurt. Maybe not. I'm not wishing for anybody to get hurt, but that's what's been going on the last couple of years. Maybe you win. Maybe you win from that luck. And then at that point, guess what? You sit down with LeBron and you're like, hey, look, you guys won it, so now you got a chance to play another year. And then at that point, you'll have more assets going into next summer. Even if those guys drop off, you can maybe do a sign and trade. I mean, they did it with Houston, right? They did the 7-team trade. They did it with those guys. I think it's easier for everybody to do it these days. But it's a win-win situation either way, in my view, for 2026. See if you can do it. If you can't, it's okay. You're going to drop all the issues you have at the end of 2026, and then at that point, you can focus on how to build this team around Luka Doncic. Do you guys think that Reeves works well with Luka if LeBron is not there? The question is, who's replacing LeBron? Because I think Austin's a good team player. He'll be fine. Rui's a good team player. He'll be fine.
I think to me, it's less about who and more about what can they do. I don't really care about the who when it comes to replacing LeBron. I care about the what can you do out there with those two. Because it's going to take it. You're going to have to be 6'7" to 6'9" on the wing. You're going to have to be able to run the floor. You're going to be able to have to make open shots. Not a lot of guys like that are available, Gerald, readily in the NBA, unless they get disgruntled. And there's always a disgruntled NBA superstar right around the corner.
So with that question and answer from Sean, Rui is better equipped to play with someone like Luka than someone like Austin Reeves. Why? Because Austin Reeves doesn't really shoot consistently well. Austin Reeves actually plays better when he has a little bit of control of the ball. Well, there's only one basketball, so that's not going to work. Unless you have somebody like if you'd had LeBron in his maybe lower tier prime. That's different. That's different because he's too talented to not work. Same thing happened in Miami, right? With him and Dwayne Wade. It's always going to work because Shaq and Kobe not getting along, right? And still winning. A lot of that was because it didn't matter. They were too damn good to lose. And Shaq, with all of his negativity in terms of being in shape and doing the things that you probably shouldn't do. When he was focused, and he always got focused usually at the right time when he could physically do it, right? That you're jacked. There's nothing you could do about it because he got angry. You're jacked. Like there's only a handful of guys that I ever saw in my entire life in sports in general where I'm like, hey man, if you piss this guy off, he's gonna destroy your entire life. Shaq was one of them. I mean, he just absolutely ended your entire existence. And it wasn't just you; it was half the team, right? Didn't matter. Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, all those guys. You know, Dale Davis was always my like. Dale Davis could go anywhere on this planet, at 6'10", 260 pounds, and everyone will move. He took Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, and Rick Smits, and he put them in his pocket. That's how powerful Shaq was. That's why you win. So, fast forward to current roster accumulation. God bless Austin Reeves for doing what he's done as a non-drafted player. But he does not work in crucial moments with Luka Doncic's game, and you saw that this year. Unless he comes in with a jump shot, I'm talking consistent jump shot, especially from three, it's not going to work. So that means bench, because he is a good team player, and I think he can work second and fourth quarters very well on a championship run. But he wants that money, right? He wants that $30, $40, $50 million that somebody's going to pay him. Anybody who pays him more than $30 million is an idiot. If you don't believe me, go look at Jeremy Grant. Go look at all these guys that are stuck in Portland and Toronto. RJ Barrett, some of you guys were mentioning RJ Barrett. I would have hung myself if the Lakers had paid that guy $30 million. That guy's horrible for 30. He's good for 10. I'm being facetious, by the way. I'm not.
Yes,
I wouldn't really hang myself for anybody.
Yes.
I'm gonna go get my beer.
Okay, you go get your beer, indeed. Let me go ahead and. Are you gonna go get your beer?
I said, shut up.
Whatever. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you stopping by. Legend, let me get back to you. Is there any other teams that stuck out in a favorable fashion for you this offseason with some good moves or something that they really did to help bolster their chances come next season?
Just keep making moves. You got to keep making moves and look at the right pieces that kind of fit around what you got. I really feel like you just need to find a way to replace DFS. That's, to me, the biggest thing that you really lost on your defensive end. Fits to replace them wise, bring in some good defense, which I think a good person to bring in. I know they're asking a lot. Is definitely Wiggins would probably be able to fit that role on that defensive end. I know Miami is asking a big toll, a big amount. But I know he would definitely work in and keep looking around the league, see what you can find on defensive end. To me, I think that's all you really need, and just bolster up that bench a little bit. You need to have a bench you can trust. At least 3 guys on the bench you can put in a playoff situation and feel comfortable they can give you some contribution.
Magic Man, we talked about the winners so far this offseason. There's some losers out there, teams that did things that has us scratching our heads. Off the top of your head, name one. I think I know I could top more than one that comes to mind. But the Lakers this time last week, or the Lakers actually going into the first couple of days of free agency, looked like they were one of those teams that was on the outs as far as in a lot of people's opinion. But I'm glad that they got and they did some things to help maybe this team win some games next season. But who in your mind has not done themselves any favors this offseason?
Oh, Lord, Gerald. I mean, Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver up in New Orleans, I don't know what they're doing. I'm for the life of me, a few days ago, wasn't doing much, Gerald. So I just sat on my lazy boy. And Gerald, for 10 minutes, I just stared at the wall, figuring out why are the New Orleans Pelicans doing what they're doing. And I just figured it out, Gerald. It makes no sense. That a franchise has made no sense for years. They might.
Joe's.
I like the sound that makes. That's So they're Gerald. You trade you're dummy. You traded away a 2026 lottery pick,
Unprotected pick, by the way.
unprotected. That, by the way, could go in either direction. You could have struggled and got it, but you traded it away. So now, if you do struggle, guess what, Gerald? You don't get it. Atlanta gets it. Atlanta decides if Milwaukee and New Orleans are terrible. Guess what Atlanta could do, Gerald? Hey, guys, I'm going to swap picks with New Orleans, and then I'm going to swap picks with Milwaukee.
Cheers, Anthony.
Enjoy the number 2 and 3 pick. Gerald, amazingly, the Atlanta Hawks could end up.
Sorry. I should have muted myself.
Yeah, you should have. Amazingly, Gerald, the Atlanta Hawks could be, a team that has multiple first overall picks. Like, they could be the first team with 4 now, Gerald.
Yeah.
4.
And you see, we just talked about them.
Sorry, I should have muted myself.
Player personnel wise, what they did this offseason has made Legend a happy man with the players they got. Porzingis, they got, of course, also Nikhil Alexander-Walker, and then they drafted.
You got Asa Newell. Yeah, you and by the way, you have Jalen Johnson coming back from an injury too, Gerald.
Setting themselves up for success was really good. Legend, who do you have as a loser this offseason?
Definitely the Pelicans got I don't know what the hell y'all doing over there. Pelicans, Warriors, your front office is trash. Just absolute trash. Just what the fuck is he? What are you doing, man? What the fuck, man?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, indeed. But it is, of course, Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, Magic Man Chuck Rice, and Joe Soro from the Joe Soro channel. Joe, another team that you
it's called The Experiment, not the Joe Soro channel.
Type it up on YouTube. It comes up
I'll
as Joe
type
Soro.
On your face if you get it wrong again.
Then I'm gonna keep on typing Joe Soro because you know what, you're the idiot who just put Joe Soro in there. That's what it comes up as. So go talk to Google. Don't talk to me. But be that as it may.
Oh, look at this guy. Thinks he made it funny.
Oh, I know I did.
Ask me the question.
I said, what team do you think was a loser besides New Orleans, which we're taking shots at this offseason?
Unfortunately, Milwaukee having to be saddled with that $20 million in cap, really dead money, and then you did that for $25 million per for Miles Turner. I mean, who was the GM over there? Laker Tom? Like that wasn't a good move. And with the Pelicans, the silver lining there is, I guess you got to get really, really bad so that you can hopefully get good, right? I guess they tried that twice. It didn't work out for them. Well, 3 times technically, but if you count the Chris Paul.
Yeah, but like every time they do that, it feels like a Pelican takes a 4-pound shit on them. It's almost as if a Pelican shits on a Pelican.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's unfortunate because a Pelican is a very powerful animal, but they are very not powerful in terms of a franchise. I strongly urge, and I have friends who are from Baton Rouge and in that area. No one gives a shit about the Pelicans over there. Move them to Seattle, end the misery already in New Orleans. I love New Orleans, by the way. I was there after Katrina, and it was still fun. Great city. And I understand going to Super Bowls there and all that. Great atmosphere, man. I was surprised at how much I loved the area. I really was. But that place needs to not that place is go Tigers, man. And the Saints. That's it. LSU and the Saints. They don't give a shit about anything else. And they have plenty of sports there. They got LSU baseball, which is bigger than the Pelicans. Let it go. Sean, you're on mute.
I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, they get 9 universities there alone. You got LSU, you have Tulane, you have Louisiana Tech, you've got Louisiana University, you've got oh gosh, it's a party city. It's a school. It's a party school city. That's what it is. Joe's right. Like the only pro sports that work there are the New Orleans Saints.
So get those guys out of there. Move them to Seattle. Make like it never existed. They didn't win anything to exist anyways.
Well, that the team though takes on sometimes. You know how the team takes on the look of the city. Like New Orleans is kind of grimy. I know it's not, but it looks grimy from the outside. And that organization is run like a grimy organization. They're grimy the way they do things over there. I mean, one thing we've noticed too is that you just can't build a sports arena anymore, though, Joe. I mean, that's why the Smoothie Center is there. You saw the Smoothie Center. It's not just one arena. It's huge. It's like LA Live. That's what a lot of these cities now and leagues are looking for. It's not just can you fit 19,000 people? Can you create an ecosystem around that arena?
It's interesting you mentioned LA Live. LA Live was supposed to heighten. It was supposed to heighten Staples, the Staples Center area, right? And it didn't. It actually reversed it. The atmosphere is not.
A lot of people might say the same thing about the Smoothie Center in New Orleans. Joe, go ahead.
No, I haven't been there in a while. I haven't been there in 16 years, so I don't know what it's like now. But sometimes when you gentrify things too much, especially in downtown LA, you ended up taking the essence of the special part of certain things in that area. So that empty lot, that parking lot, or might have been a very popular restaurant. There was a popular restaurant there that's not there anymore. That me and my friend used to go eat before we'd go to the games. That one that's gone. Like you sometimes
What's
you
it
got.
called?
I forgot the name of it because I'd only been there like 5 or 6 times.
I liked Wolfgang's that was there. That was really good. That was there.
And then they turned it into the popular things, right? The yard houses and all that. Yard house is nice in my view in a mall area. That's what the yard house will be. The yard house is like it's like a higher end Chili's or Applebee's, a higher end one, right? They have these yard long, that's the whole point, the yard long beer things, right? It's like a more elegant, more advanced Chili's with a huge menu. You put those in a mall area and it makes sense. You put that across or anywhere near a sporting event, it's just not the same. It's just like when they had the ESPN or the Planet Hollywood restaurants. They were trying to promote the whole ESPN and the Planet Hollywood with Stallone, but their food tastes like shit. The atmosphere sucked because their management sucked. Most of those guys are good at managing entertainment stuff. They're not good at managing restaurants. And if you're in a shitty area, you have to deal with a lot of bullshit, like people coming in, asking to go to the bathroom. There's a bunch of bums. There's graffiti everywhere and literal piss where I parked the last time I was there. People don't want to go eat there. Normal people don't want to go eat there and kind of put an elegance around it. LA Live, then putting a Ritz-Carlton there didn't make a damn difference. I don't even see Ritz-Carlton. When I used to grow up hearing about the Ritz-Carlton, I'm like, damn, that's hot. That's, sorry to say this for you guys, Donald Trump areas and shit, like back in New York, right? And that was supposed to be high-end shit. No, not in that area. Not the only thing I see there. The only thing I see there is graffiti on the buildings around it. It's trash, and I'm hoping that new ownership can somehow help invest a little bit in and around that area and make it a little bit better, so that people actually like going back there a little bit more. Because I haven't for the last decade, Every time I go over there, I was like, it's different. It's just it doesn't have the same feel anymore. It's just dirty.
So getting back to our original discussion on the NBA winners and losers before this geographical discussion took place.
Don't ever interrupt what we say.
I'll say what I want to. I run the channel.
No.
Yes. Sorry, Google has it under my name, not yours. You have your own Joe Sorrell channel, which you one day hopefully will turn.
How about you
into
go Google yourself? How about that?
No,
He doesn't need to. He knows he runs.
I already know what the name of this channel is. I don't think you know the name of your channels on your own channel. You don't even know the name of it. Okay, all right.
He's laughing.
No, that was pretty funny.
Portland is another team I want to point out because I don't understand how they're gauging themselves. I see them thinking they're ready to do some things in a very loaded Western Conference that you and I and the guys up above me right now don't think they have a chance in hell of being able to get anywhere this season. I think they should they've got a young 5 nucleus they should throw out there on a game-to-game basis and see what clicks. But you don't bring in $100 million of Drew Holiday, who's already in his mid-30s, because you want to make the defense a little bit better. You want to make the team, a little bit, I guess, as far as from a emotional standpoint, a guy that's going to rah you from the be that team player, be that guy you're going to look at in the locker room. I don't spend $104 million on one of those guys. I'm sorry. As much as they're great to have in the locker room, I think I can allocate my $100 million somewhere else. Your thoughts on Portland? Again, also reaching very high in the draft to get Yang Hansen or Hansen Yang, however you want to say his name. That has also been coming into question, especially because they had drafted a center with last year's draft in Donovan Clingan. This is a very young nucleus they could throw out there as their top 5 and just say, let's see how good they can really become. But they're doing many things that are working against your thoughts on the offseason for the Portland Trailblazers.
Terrible. Terrible. I mean, I just don't understand the direction where they're going, and then getting Drew Holiday, it didn't make no sense. If you're focusing on building this youth roster, there's no need to bring him over here because
and giving Boston a draft pick on top of that, and Anthony Simons.
And that's the other thing that's questionable. Then you drafted another center. You just did that last year. So are you finna have these two battle it out or something? Or I don't know what they're trying to do over there. It's almost looking like Portland is becoming a city where I'm not trying to say nothing against Portland or anything, but more so the organization. Your career gonna go die over here basically because they don't know what they doing. They look like it. They don't know what they doing. It looks like kind of look like mismanagement. It's just like questionable. What are you trying to do right now? Because I can't tell. You got a bunch of young pieces. You should just let them go out here, go play, and be like, look, don't worry about win or lose. Just get the experience and get better right now. That is all that is important. But it looks like you're going against that by bringing in the Drew Holiday. That doesn't make sense. And I highly doubt he wants to be there because it don't benefit him to be there. Other than getting paid, and that's it.
Is Portland one of your losers, Magic Man?
No, they're one of my. I forgot they even exist.
Fair enough.
But Gerald. I guess if you had to put them in the category of loser, they are. Nobody's trading for Drew Holiday. Nobody.
Or Grant.
And nobody's trading for Jeremy Grant. So you got $250 million of non-tradable assets.
That's on your bench.
It's pretty bad, Gerald. By the way, Chauncey Billups got a contract extension for all this goings on, Gerald. My guess is Jody Allen sells the Blazers before the end of 2026, Gerald. And I doubt any of these individuals have anything to do with the Portland Trail Blazers in the 2026 or 2027 offseason. This used to be an organization that was run well. At one point in time, Gerald, I didn't like the Lakers going into the Rose Garden because it looked like it was going to be an automatic L. Things have changed quite a bit because Paul died, and he didn't. Obviously, Jody Allen doesn't give a shit about the Portland Trailblazers. She loves mixing it up. Those Seahawks games, Gerald. I see her in her box there. She loves it. Never in her box in Portland. Never. So, just goes to show you how much ownership cares about that basketball team. And Portland does have great NBA fans. They really do. It's just a shame that they're run so poorly.
Joe, how do you think the Phoenix Suns did this offseason? They made the trade for Kevin Durant. They got back Green and Brooks. Some questioning that because the fact is they already have two other shooting guards, although one is supposedly going to be bought out at any point in time now, and Bradley Beal, but they also have Devin Booker, who conveniently plays the shooting guard as well. Then they drafted and traded for, within a matter of minutes, for essentially 2 7-foot centers, which both will need roughly around the same time. They're roughly around the same player. Your thoughts on the Phoenix Suns offseason? They still look like they are still miles away from being a real contender in the Western Conference.
A lot of discussions right now about the buyout. I would not buy out Bradley Beal.
Nor would I.
Just don't. Just hack it for 2 more seasons. I know it's going to suck, but you're the Phoenix Suns. You'll still be around. You're not going anywhere. Don't prolong the disaster longer than you have to. Now, you got rid of Kevin Durant for basically nothing. But that was the only deal that was going to work because these guys dictate where they want to go, right? Durant's like, I ain't going here. I ain't going there. I ain't going to Golden State. Okay, well, we got to get rid of this clown. So they got rid of him. And Durant might not be the ultimate clown, but he's a clown in a lot of his situations.
They might have the ugliest team in the history of the NBA. Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks. Oh, my God.
Now, they got to sell it to Booker, and by giving him his extension, I think he'll be fine. And in the meantime, between now and when Bradley Beal's contract runs out, which will be in 2 years, you just try your best to keep forming what you can until 2027. And hope that, let's just say this scenario. I'm just throwing this out there. You have Giannis and you have Jokic that have options to opt out. If they decide to become free agents that summer, maybe you get lucky and Jokic wants to go to Phoenix. Or Giannis wants to go to Phoenix. I don't know. Probably not. What are you saying, Trent? Hold on. Let me talk to this guy real quick. Fight back, Joe. Say something. You can't. It's not your show. Every show I'm on is my show, boy.
Gerald, another big winner, backup big man. I mean, the average salary.
Do you want the final answer on Suns?
Of the backup center.
So what is your final answer on the Suns?
My final answer on the Suns is continue to allow yourselves to deal with what you've already committed to. Don't make it go further than 2027. Deal with it. Pay Booker to stay, which is the 2-year, $150 million contract, which is overpay beyond overpay.
He's got a thing for hopeless cases. That's why he's buying the White Sox.
And just try to do your best to play from there. You have Mark Williams and Nick Richards. You have the Charlotte Hornets first and second centers.
Great.
You all right, Gerald? You keep rubbing your face.
Yeah, because.
Would you want to smack in the face? So
I could smack you in the face. That would make me feel better. Magic Man, I want to ask you this though. You said something about backup centers being a real winner this offseason.
Yes, 100%. The Gerald, just less than 6 years ago, the average backup center in the NBA was making about 3.5, 4 million. Now you're making 9.5, 10. Saw the deals Brooke Lopez got. Saw the deals other backup centers have gotten. It's a real big winner for them, Joe. I mean, because depth was bereft in the dearth this offseason. So next offseason, what do you expect backup bigs to get?
It just shows the importance now that a lot of teams are weighing on centers.
I mean, Capella got 9 million. Nobody thought Clint Capella was going to even get close to that in the offseason.
Yeah, that was crazy right there. But Legend, any other teams stand out in a positive or negative way? I mean, those were pretty good thoughts from all of us on that. But any other teams that stand out that really made a dent or in a positive or negative way here in the offseason as Joe deal with a child? Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Legend.
I would say Chicago really didn't do much of nothing either.
They still got Giddy.
What did
You got Giddy to worry about.
I said, did they give away a pick or something to somebody? I can't remember exactly what they did. They gave something away that was very cool.
Yeah, they just give picks away in Chicago.
Crazy. And they still haven't done anything with Josh Giddey, who almost averaged a triple-double for them this past season. Really improved his shooting. Still can't play a lick of defense. Sorry, Xbox, but is a really, really good playmaker. And, again, a shooter that almost averaged 40% from three.
And he cost them the first pick.
Yeah, and he cost them Alex Caruso. As far as it's concerned.
Well, no, the first
no.
pick overall.
Josh Giddey's half-court shot cost him Cooper Flag. So.
Yeah,
LeBron's inadequacy that game cost the Bulls Cooper Flag, and I want to congratulate LeBron James for that.
The worst 1 minute 90 seconds of his career, and it cost the Bulls getting the chance at the first pick in the NBA draft. Xbox, I don't think so. He may be able to play defense on the tennis courts, but not on the basketball court. There's a reason why they have him playing the power forward on defense. You gotta watch, man, because he cannot, as a point guard, he is just not able to go ahead and defend other guards. That's fine, because offensively he still does a lot of tremendously great things, but you have to build a defense around him. And I don't know if they're not even willing to sign him, Magic Man, if they're not even willing to go ahead and make a deal right now, if they just let him out of the win on this restricted contract deal as far as right now, what does that say? They obviously don't have the greatest of plans for him if they're just letting him sit out there like nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Not much of a plan. I would doubt they have a plan at all for him. So he's just sitting there. We're going to have to wait, Gerald, because this is what inept teams in the NBA do. They just sit and wait for manna to fall from heaven, like David Kahn did. Oh, no, wait. He signed Darko Milicic and drafted Johnny Flynn and then drafted Ricky Rubio, Gerald, and decided that they were in the driver's seat. Yeah, they were in their driver's seat, all right, to the ditch.
Indeed. Legend, always great to have you, Magic Man and Joe Soro here. But it's been a great 2-hour conversation, my friend. There's so much more that we could say, and I'm sure there's still much more that's going to happen before guys get to training camp. Of course, Vegas Summer League later this week. And, of course, also as well, the rest of the California Classic and Utah Summer Leagues as well. But, my friend, I know you've got a great channel of your own on YouTube. What you going to do at I Got Next Sports Media?
Definitely going to try to cover a little bit of this WNBA All-Star game. I want to check out how my Atlanta Dreams are doing. And drop this video on my thoughts on the Atlanta Hawks' chances of what we can do this season. And then drop my video on my disappointing Golden State Warriors on our incompetent front office.
And Joe Soro, don't forget the Joe Soro channel, which is listed at right now for his Joe Soro experiment and also Dodgers Fast Pitch. He just did a show today, So go ahead and check it out on the Dodgers. I don't, they did get swept, but they're still one of the best records in Major League Baseball. So people don't go into panic just yet on the Dodgers. But Joe, any thoughts on Bronny and his impressive performance today in Summer League before we head on out?
Impressive.
Mm-hmm.
10 points, 10 minutes, 2 threes, steals, slam dunks.
Good. I expect them to be traded next summer.
Okay.
Maybe you can get us something.
That's actually the nicest thing Joe has said about him.
Where are you going, Trent? What do you mean, bye, Joe? I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he sent you a new one.
Okay, all right. These trolls.
Listen, guys, look, one of the best things about next year is it's very, very good chance that we're not going to have to deal with this stupid question anymore. We're going to actually talk about what real talent is going to be.
Well, Joe, I never thought I'd live in a world where Bronny James improved and Dalton Knecht hasn't.
Something's going on with Dalton Knecht.
But here we are.
Is he
That's
on
what I
dope?
said.
You said it. You're right, Legend. It's something's going on. You think that trade has really affected him? Because Legend noted that earlier.
I think there's something else going on in his personal life. There's no reason why this guy shouldn't be destroying people the first 2 games. Something else is going on. And that might be why he didn't play. Now it's starting to make sense. There's some kind of distraction going on with Dalton Knecht.
Johnny, Darius Baisley, he's bounced around the league, quite a few teams. He had his chance with OKC as a draft choice, was there, started quite a few games, bounced around with Utah, played overseas, playing the G League. He's too thin to be a center in this league. Has some skills, but never really has gotten his jump shot from outside, been able to stretch it. Has some athleticism as far as what we talked about earlier in the show. But, yeah, I just think, don't take too much away from the Cole Swiders and the Darius Baisleys and the DJ Stewarts and some of these other guys battling for an even training camp spot. They're trying to do what they can to go ahead and Magic Man, we've seen it now. They're trying to really go ahead and turn some eyes onto them. But they've always had their opportunities, some of them with a 10 days, some of them with a 2-way, some of them with even a full-fledged contract, and have not been able to fully take advantage of those opportunities. We should see those guys continue to play and score well, but ultimately, will any of those guys, until expansion comes in, ever find a regular job in the NBA? Those guys that we're talking about right now.
I don't think so, Gerald. And seeing as let's say you discover 1 or 2 of them, it's likely you're probably going to lose 1 or both in an expansion draft as well. So, if you do get lucky, Gerald, good on you. But in my perspective right now, I think any diamond in the rough could potentially be had coming up in an expansion draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And those guys hopefully will get the opportunity for a regular basis. Again, I'm rooting for all those guys.
Yeah, we're just
getting a regular contract.
We're just speculating here, Gerald, but my guess is in an expansion draft, I would say that you would probably be able to protect maybe half your roster. And then
6 or 7 spots, I believe.
Yeah, 6 or 7 spots, and then that would be it. So you really have to go moving forward. You really have to be cognizant. If I'm bringing, for example, Baisley, Gerald, the NBA is also different, very different than Major League Baseball or even the NFL. Gerald, we both know the story of the 26 or 27-year-old in the NBA who finally catches on and hits the ground running, becomes a star. It doesn't happen. This is the one league where that does not happen.
Well, you can see it, Magic Man. These guys that look really good as far as in summer league or whatnot, they just can't break through and stay through
because it's another level.
there's a gap. There's a gap between competitive players in the NBA and where those guys are at right now that look really good in summer league. And is Bronny going to be in one or the other? We'll have to wait and see. Again, we did see improvement in his 10 minutes. We'll see if that continues throughout the summer league. Dalton, after a terrible weekend, will he get his mind and his game right back in shape? We'll have to wait and see on that as well. But the Lakers go 1-1 this weekend. Hopefully you were able to catch it on playback with us, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. We know we've got another game coming up at the California Classic and also as well later this week. Hopefully I'll see John Costa and in Las Vegas here at the Vegas Summer League. But legend, Magic Man, Joe Soros, been great to have you here. Once again, Joe Soros had a show earlier today, Dodgers Fast Pitch. Go ahead and check it out. Magic Man's always here for us right here at the Lakers Fast Break, and legend on I Got Next sports media as well. Intel Wild says, thank you, Potterfather, giving me the Mirror Coffee shout. No worry, Intel Wild, you know, you're the man. You give the credit. I give the credit where it's due, always. And the credit, you were the first one to point out Amir Coffee as a potential Lakers signing. He's still there. They have to make a decision on Shake Milton. Do they waive him, keep that roster spot open, or bring in someone like Coffee? I'd like to see him bring in a Coffee because I think he can make the Lakers rotation. At 6'7", who can shoot 40% from three, you always got to take a look.
I don't like Coffee.
Here we go. Coffee the player or Coffee the drink?
No comment.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. See,
I like beer.
Oh, yeah, I could tell that. Yeah, there you go. But legend, great to have you here, Magic Man, Joe Soro. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be back for more fun this week. We'll go ahead and make sure you're in tune with what's going on with the Lakers and the NBA. But if anything goes down, as far as major deals,
what do you keep saying bye to me for? I'm not going anywhere.
He's Trent Clapp. Trent Clapp you. Clap for Trent Clapp. Coffee to the Lakers. Well, I don't care if the Clippers fans will like. We're not here for the Clippers fans.
What is there? Is that real?
Jay said coffee to the
Are
Lakers.
Clipper fans real? That should be a show subject.
There's that one section, Joe. You got to admit, if you're paying the kind of money,
Those
there's
guys
that
are
one
paid
section they have
to do
those
that.
guys. That wall is paid.
Paid.
Okay. Damn, they're supposed to be paid a lot because it's damn expensive to get inside that building. That's all I'll say on that. Try parking. Parking's $80 there.
Yeah,
Joe.
and you got to go to Inglewood. Who the hell wants to go to Inglewood? Is this at the 80s? You ever been to Inglewood in 2025?
I was born in Inglewood. Yes.
Didn't you hear what I just said?
I haven't been there.
I said 2025, not 1945.
2024. Yes, I have.
1945.
2025.
Oh,
See,
man.
that's nice. Bye, Joe. Have a good night. Dev knows. Good night. There you go.
First up for everybody here.
Good night. Good night, Moon.
Joe, and I don't like your 8-foot.
All right. Thanks,
Dude,
everyone, for joining us.
This is the greatest beer mug ever. You don't have to go back after just one.
It's a great beer mug.
I'm
really
a Dallas Cowboys fan. But,
who? Dallas Cowboys fan. That's worse. That might be worse than a Clippers fan right now.
All right. Thanks so much again for joining us from all of us right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Hey, Trent, clap yourself off a cliff. You screwball, you.